Beautiful misty morning for a walk up in the forest. Look at it. It's not raining. Actually, the water that's coming down is from the mist. It's so misty that all of the mist. Come on, Jackie boy. It's my little brave man. All of the mist is actually landing on the leaves of the tree, and when the wind blows, you can hear the water dropping. Beautiful morning today. They blocked the other way off for me to go through today, so I'm going up a different route. But whatever's meant to be is meant to be. It is what it is. And it definitely isn't what it isn't. You hear the water falling off the trees. It's amazing. Squirrels scampering round in the forest and all the animals preparing for the winter. Look at that. Last of the green leaves on the tree. Won't be long and they will all be on the floor like this. Isn't it funny how autumn we look at as beautiful in nature and all of the colours are fantastic, and yet when we come to our autumn in our life, society tries to hide it and paint it. And so many people are so stupid, they have lots of surgery done on their faces. And they cover themselves up and plump their lips up and do weird anti-wrinkle treatments on their foreheads. And I look at them and I just think, it's weird. Why would you want to do that to yourself? You should be proud that you've managed to get to this age. You should be proud that you've managed to reach a maturity long enough that you have a few grey hairs and you have a few wrinkles, and you know, it's a weird thing, because I've seen so many people I've known over the years, and recently quite a few of them have had their lips done. Man, literally, I would not go near a woman with a 6-foot barge pole when they start doing that stuff with them. So I just think they make them look ugly and weird. And it's like Bill Burr said recently, problem is the women says, oh, I'll just have a little bit. And it's like polishing your car, he says. You start with the bumper and then you realise the rest of it looks shit and you can't stop just there. Because then you've made one bit look better, it makes the rest of the bits look worse. So just don't start. And that's so true. Because the problem is, once you've broken that barrier, there's nowhere when to stop. Now look at what happened to Michael Jackson. And there was a group called, I think it was King? Yeah, King it was, wasn't it? And was it Pete something or other that was a lead singer out of that? And he just looked like a freak towards the end of his life. And for years and years and years, there was like surgery being done, which was to look like, nobody wanted to look like they had surgery done on their face. And it's only the people without money, which are too stupid to realise that having surgery done to make yourself look like you've had surgery defeats the whole object. You know? You have a tattoo to make it look like you've had a tattoo. But it's like, remember when it was popular to, like many years ago, have lots of gold and wear your wealth. And then it made all of the poor people look poor, because the more gold you had on, the more poor you look. Because it makes you realise that you haven't got that much money, you're just wearing as much of your wealth as possible. Well, that's what it looks like when you have this surgery. You just look like a poor person having surgery. Because a lot of the rich top-end stars, the problem is they get famous. And when they get famous, they end up having surgery. And because they're already insecure, they've never really grown. They've never been, you know, they think the insecurity was, when I'm famous, I will be happy. It's like when people say, when I have this job, when I have this car, when I have that. But nobody ever realises it's not the getting to the place is the problem, it's the person themselves. the insecurity of the person themselves. And here's nature in its autumn. And I don't want to run up and start painting the bloody leaves on the trees and say, oh my God, let's do the tree a favour. Let's stick all the leaves back on the trees and paint them all green. Because I'm sure the tree doesn't want to feel like it's in autumn. Are you for real? Are you for real? Think about it. You're playing into the hands of a society of insecurity. You're thinking you're looking at someone which is secure, and they're not. Because if they were secure in themselves, they would not give a flying shit what other people think about them. And they would do what they want to do instead. Love yourself. Not love the way you look. Love the way you are. Because the way you look will change and decay and age over life. You will be like the brown leaves of the ferns. The brown leaves on the trees. And the trees which are decaying and dying and twisted and knurled in the forest. That's your future. Face it. There's no way out of it. You know, you'll be in a coffin, and in 500 years' time, all that'll be left is your silicone tits and your bloody lips. Everything else would have dissolved. And they think, what the hell is this? So, oh yeah, it was like some weird Egyptian bloody mummification. Freaks. That's what you end up being. It's like freaks. I can't help but say it, but that's what happens. And I just look at them, and I hear so many, you see some of them do it, and they go, oh, you look great, Nat. You look great, Mark. You look great, Trev. You look great. All these different people, like, you know what I mean? I'm just saying random names. There's nobody under those names which I'm relating to individually, but you know what I mean? And I look at it, and I just want to say to them, man, you look like an idiot. But then if I say that, people all turn against me, but I'm saying the truth. If they're entitled to their view, I'm entitled to mine. Nobody speaks the truth. Everybody just says what that person wants to hear because nobody wants to lose them as a friend. That's your insecurity. You're not being a good friend if you're not telling the truth and risking losing that friendship. Believe you me, all you're doing is saying what you want to say because you don't want to upset them. That's a real bollocky friend, that is. For God's sake, you just don't want to tell somebody the truth because you don't want to lose them and be judged as an arsehole. It's got nothing to do with upsetting them. That's bollocks. You just haven't got a backbone. And that's why the society is in such a bloody mess. Because nobody's got a backbone and nobody's telling each other the truth. We're only going to grow and get out of this quagmire of being misled and taken down a garden pathway that is destroying our society in the very fabric of its existence. Because nobody is willing to tell people when they're being a bloody idiot. Believe you me, I'm glad I had some friends that reined me in when I was, because if I wouldn't have done, I would have made some horrific mistakes. But now, I'm in a much better position, and I'm asking you all, stop lying to your friends. If they're a true friend, and you're a true friend, you won't worry about upsetting them. Just tell them, you might not want to hear this, but I'm going to tell you the truth. And speak from your heart and your mind. And say, you might never speak to me again, but I cannot live with the fact that I'm going to lie with you. That's why I don't have so many friends. I've told so many the bloody truth. And guess what happens? Don't want to be in my life anymore. They can tell me the truth. It's fine for them to tell me what they think I should be doing. And that's great. I'll stand there and listen. I can take the advice and I'm not, but I'm glad that if someone is speaking from their heart, and I respect them for it, because the truth sometimes can hurt. But the good thing with the bloody truth is it'll transform you. So do it for love, not for hate. Do it to build them up and help them forward, not to drag them down. Because there's two types of truth. One is through your insecurity because you are terrified of them holding themselves back. And the other one is because you believe that you're doing the right thing. You've got two choices. Now do what you have to do, but do it with love. Thank you for tuning in.